I finished.
Okay, let's start with language class. The parts of a story, that is the title class. 1 minute to copy, to finish to copy this. Now, when we talk about the parts of a story, look at the picture that I have here for this title. For example, any story that you might read or you have been reading, you are reading right now, or it's story that when you were like a little kids, you learned about Little Red Riding Hood. Do you remember that story, Little Red Riding Hood, or not? You don't know Little Red Riding Hood? Caperucita Roja, that is in English. Little Red Riding Hood, do you remember that story?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Now, that story, it has a part. It has a part. We can identify the characters. We can identify the setting. And we can identify the plot of that story of Little Red Riding Hood. That story, we have some characters like this. Look at the picture here, the characters. Here is Little Red Riding Hood. The characters, it says creatures, animals, and people class. So in Little Red Riding Hood, the characters will be the girl, the wolf. Who else can be the character in the Little Red Riding Hood?
And how can I say cazador in English?
Cazador.
The grandmother.
The grandmother, that's right, that it was in that one of the characters. Basically, that's three. These three, they were the main characters of the story. They were there. The setting, it says where and when. It might be the place where it takes place, that story. It can be in a jungle. It can be in a desert. It can be in an ocean, in a sea. Well, it depends what it's a story about. So the setting is where, when. If it was a long time ago, it's in the present.
The forest are in
the forests where that is the setting class. And the plot, that is the action. So the plot is the different activities that they might perform, the different things that they have done in the story. So let's go deep about this. Parts of a story, that is the title. We're going to talk about this class. Now let's copy this. Let's copy this summary in your notebook. Here we have the title if you didn't finish. And you have the pages where you can find this information. 348 or 349, you have that information. Let's copy everything. 3 things that make up a story is the character, the setting, and the plot. What is a character? Well, I'm going to underline here.
Not in the class.
This is language class. Characters class. The characters, remember that they are the people or animals on that story. People or animals on the story that they might do different activities, they might be performing. We have characters, main characters, the principal characters like Little Red Riding Hood, she was a principal character with the wolf. Then the other characters that we can mention. Now, what is the setting? The setting is when and where the story happens. When it's about time, remember. Where it's the place, where does this story happen? So the setting is the place or the time. In other words, the place and the time of the story happens. And the last element that we have here is the plot. What is the plot? The plot is the series of events of the story. It tells us what happened, the different activities that they perform. Yes, copy everything, copy everything. The summary, characters, setting, plot. Often a character, also this part, often a character has a problem and might try to find an answer to solve the problem or to answer to the problem. So that is the information that we're going to copy today, the parts of the story, the summary. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to write this information. Mia, are you working? Are you writing this information in your notebook, Mia? Okay, I'm going to check the attendance. Say present if you're connected, class. Ana, Andrea, and Camila.
Present. Present.
Andrea, Sofía. No today. Gabriela, Isabela, and Kiara.
Present.
Present.
Lucía, Mía, and Rebecca.
Present.
Mia Valentina. No. Rosa, Valerie, and Sian.
Present. Present.
Alberto, Dani, and Fernando.
Present. Present.
Hermes, Joshua, and Caleb.
Present. Present.
Marcelo, Santiago Hernández, and Santiago Chávez.
Present.
Santiago Hernández, Santiago Chávez. No.
Finish.
Finished. Two minutes, class. 2 minutes to finish this, to copy this information in your notebook.
I finished, Miss. I finished.
Anna?
I finished.
Okay, Dani.
I finished.
I finished, Miss.
Okay.
I finished.
Finish. Who's missing the copy, class?
Me, wait.
Okay, Gabriela. Now, don't forget, class, the parts of the story, they might have more elements in the story. We can find a lot of elements, but today we're going to talk about just these three. The characters, and they are the most important. The characters, the setting, and the plot. Characters, people or animals in the story. Most of the cases on the stories, on the books, or it can be not just on the story, also in the fables. If you remember the last week we talked about the fables, the different fables. For example, the turtle and the hare, they might be the main characters because they are the animals. Story. That's right. So we can use these elements to identify also in a fable, in the story, the characters, the people or animals. Some story they might be made up of just animals other, they can be just people, or in other story, we can have both people and animals in the story. The setting, when and where. Remember that this is the time that it's happening something, the story, and the place. Not all the stories happen in the same place or in the same time. They have different time and place. Thank you, Rebecca. Excellent. They have different times and places where it happens. It depends. For example, some stories, as we were saying before, they might be in the forest, but not all the stories might be in the forest. So that's why we have the setting, different settings, and we can identify the different settings that the stories can have. And the plot. Plot is a series of events in the story, the different things that happen in the story class. That is a plot. And it tells what happened in this story, what happened in the other story. So the plot is what is happening of the story. And remember, not all the books or not all the stories, they have pictures. Some of them can have pictures that it can be easy for you to know the character, to know the setting, or have an idea about the plot. But not all the books have pictures. Sometimes we need to just read and read and read the information that is on that story to identify or imagine the character, the setting, and the plot, because they don't have pictures. Now, let's go to next slide. Too much time with this. Let's go to next slide, class, and we're going to copy this. Let's copy this now. In your notebook, you're going to copy this practice 8. We're going to write if it is a character, a setting, or a plot. Let's copy everything. Character, setting, or plot of these examples. For example, number 11 or number 1, what does it describe? Lucy and Linus. Is this an example of a character, setting, or plot?
Characters.
Characters. How do you know that they're characters? You know the Lucy
I
is
see two persons of a person.
two people. That's right, Rosa. That's right, Rebecca. They are the names of two girls in my day. So they are characters. So let's write Lucy and Linus, and next to that, characters. In that way, we're going to complete all of them. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, work by yourself, and then we check the answer. But try to do it by yourself. Caletroches. Do you have any problem with your video? Why do you write Carita Trosti as your name? Camila, you have any problem with your video, Camila Aguirre? Finish the copy, class, and to complete it, to write if it is a character, setting, or plot. No. Santiago Chavez, are you working? Santiago Chavez, Santiago Hernandez. Who knows the answer on number 2, class? Number 12, just after sunrise.
Plant.
Setting.
Setting or the plot?
No.
Fall.
Black. Black.
Cloud.
What is telling just after the sunrise? It's telling you the setting, class, or the plot. Character, we know that it's not a character, but
Flat.
setting or plot. Remember, it's a setting, like your classmates say, not plot. Plot is what is happening, but setting, why setting? Just after sunrise, it's after the word is telling you the time. When class? When it's time after, before sunrise, after sunrise. So it's asking you, it's telling you about the time. When? So it's a setting, it describes the setting.
The 13 are setting also.
Setting number 13, a hot bar and dessert. Yes, it might be the setting. Why? Because you're describing where is the place, right? You're giving the description of how was the weather. So where is the setting? Yes, where in a desert. Perfect. In that way, we're going to identify the character setting or plot examples that we have from 11 to 20. For example, 14. Who knows the answer of 14? A wallet is found. What is that? A wallet is found in the story.
It's a
It
ball.
plots. That's right, Sian. That's right, Rosa, Rebecca. It's a plot because that is an action. It's something that happens in the story. A wallet is found, so it's a plot. Number 15.
With dolphin, all the characters.
The character, the 3 white dolphins, they might be characters.
Yes, I think it.
Yes, they are characters. If it's a story about dolphins and you describe these 3 dolphins, so it's a character. Example. Number 16. What is about number 16? Characters, Rosa. A girl rescues a friend. It's a plot. Why plot? Take care of this. If you talk about a girl, it's a character. But it says that this girl rescues a friend. That is an action. She is rescuing a friend. Maybe that friend was in danger. Maybe that friend was going to be eaten by a dragon, or I don't know, a monster. We don't know. So it's a plot. That is the action. It's something that is happening in the story. A girl is going to rescue a friend. But just a girl, it's a character. But a girl rescuing a friend is a plot. It's an example of a plot. Days of the dinosaurs.
Studying.
The setting. That's right, the setting. The days of the dinosaur. We're describing time. Days, it's about time. '18, the automobile, it's invented.
Studying also.
Plot. It's an action.
What are plots?
The plot, different actions or different activities that happen in the story. Imagine that we are reading a book, Rebecca, of a story that it's talking about different girls. For example, Lucia, Cian, and Rosa. These 3 girls, they are famous girls and they're going to invent the automobile. The 3 characters that you have is Lucia, Cian, and Rosa, but what is the action that they are doing? They are inventing something new. They're going to invent a car, an automobile, so that is a plot. You finish everything, Joshua? Okay, perfect. Number 19 class, Long John Silver. They are the characters, that's right. It's a name of a person. So
we have to do this.
Yes, then we have another activity. Now, number 20, an imaginary country class.
Setting.
Is the setting. It's imaginary country. Perfect. 2 minutes, class. 2 minutes to finish this information, and then I'm going to change the slide.
I finished.
Okay.
So we're gonna copy three slides.
Maybe we're going to copy more.
Finish.
Finished. Okay. We're done.
Finish.
Okay. Thank you, Lucia.
Teacher, more copy.
Maybe we're going to copy more.
I finished.
Okay, Hermes.
3 or 4 minutes.
I like to copy.
Finish, class. Did you finish to copy this slide? Example? No.
Yes.
10 seconds. 10 seconds to finish.
The people that always finish, we can go.
No. You cannot
We're
go.
already know.
We're going to do a exercise. Yeah, me
Yes, we have more exercise. One more.
to practice.
Hmm? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Too much time with this one, class. Now, what we're going to do with this activity? It's orally. You're not going to copy more. It's going to be orally. You're going to tell me if the example now, if a character setting or plot. What about number 1? A house in the mountains is example of character setting or plot.
Setting.
Studying.
Setting, that's right.
setting,
Number 2. What about number 2?
Character.
Number 3.
Plot.
Plot. Some campers here know there is a plot. Example.
That.
4.
Setting.
Is a setting. Number 5.
Character.
Character. Excellent. Number 6.
Character.
A character is a big purple cow, so it's a character. Number 7.
Plot.
It's plot. Number 8.
A setting.
Setting. Number 9.
Plot.
Plot. A plot because we're in the sky. Plot. And number 10.
Character.
Okay, perfect. Right now, character setting and plot, they are just part of the story they will have learned. Now here we have the answer. Let's check the answer. Yes, characters, plot. You did a great job. You identify everything correct. Okay, perfect. Now we have a homework on the Schoology. So remember that you have one homework in language class. So it might be today or tomorrow that is on Schoology. So you can work on that. Okay, so let's finish the class. If you don't have any questions, you are dismissed. And if you finish the copy, you can disconnect class.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.